As a business owner, how many times have you pondered this question? If I pour money into marketing, will I get an accurate and even return on my investment? And will I achieve the desired attention that I want for my business? Well, according to the business blog HubSpot, it continues to remain one of the biggest marketing challenges of 2022. In a March 2022 survey published by the publication, it revealed that 28% of marketers in 2021 globally considered a return on their investment of their marketing dollars as their top priority and challenge in 2021. And the survey also found that 21% of marketers have the same concern as we round out the end of this year. Blake Baxendell has the resources and experience to lend a hand in helping marketers and businesses solve this very issue. As the owner of Wahha Design and DentaMarketing, he has over 17 years of experience in a variety of different areas, including web design and development, search engine optimization, and digital advertising. He consults with agencies to ensure that they're up to date on exactly what's happening in the marketing industry today and how they can do better. He also helps individual businesses grow through marketing. And Baxendell joined me this week to tell me more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Blake, if you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program. And I'm super excited to talk to you all about digital marketing this morning. Great to be with you, and thank you for a few minutes.
Okay, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Blake, I know that you've been in marketing now for about 17 years, and you run two companies, my friend. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about all the great work that you do.
Yeah. So for instance, my two companies we own is Wahha Design and DentaMarketing. Wahha Design is more of like our general marketing company. We kind of handle pretty much almost any type of business. You know, small mom and pop businesses to big corporate companies, government contractors, and so forth. Our main services are, our main focus is really digital marketing, and we do mostly search engine optimization, digital advertising. Either that be like Google Ads. We started doing what they call over-the-top advertising this year, which is kind of getting your ads out to programs like Roku's Fire Sticks, like those type of apps, which would be like Hulu and, Fox News, like the actual apps instead of cable TV. But we also do social media marketing, brand development, which includes like web design, web development. So we kind of handle almost anything that's in the digital realm. We do get some rare occurrences to do some kind of traditional like print design and print media, but it's kind of rare these days that we really get those kind of requests. But my other company, DentaMarketing, literally the same kind of stuff, but it's niche out to dentists, like dental practices. And our main focus with them is to really enhance their experience and grow their patient base. And one of the things that we feel like that makes us unique among other marketing companies is we like to prove the actual return on investment that you get with us. So we kind of track all our leads and we go with it through all our customers. And we do this both through the Wahha Design and DentaMarketing is, so then we eventually actually show them who actually became clients of theirs and we signed on with them, and it shows like what kind of profit they received through our efforts.
Well, it's always good to show that they've invested their money in the right place, right? That must make you feel good, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
And Blake, tell me, how do you think digital marketing has sort of evolved over the last couple of decades there, Brian?
There have been some big steps in helping businesses connect with their current and potential customers over the years. Digital marketing has become more cost effective with certain advertising methods, allowing you to set your own budgets. Communication with companies has become almost instant anymore with online reviews, like Google reviews and Facebook. And along with messaging apps such as Facebook Messenger, Google Business Profile Manager, and even like website chat bots. So the interaction with clients has kind of taken like a forefront, to that, to help with the digital marketing of the business. Also, another growing trend has been video marketing, along with influence marketing. It's become more popular. Influence marketing follows, the online review trend, which kind of helps give more authority and users trust by kind of seeing other people share their experience. Obviously, some of those influencers are paid, because it's a job on its own, and they should rightfully be paid to be able to do that. But in a way, those kind of reviews may not be as like the influencer may not be as strong as just your independent online reviews that you get for your everyday customer. With the whole, this kind of topic though, like I said, I can probably go on and on about it because there's so much in the digital realm that's always changing, and it kind of makes the industry itself kind of tough.
Yeah, I just wanted to know your thoughts on how you define effective digital marketing, because as you said, there are so many spaces that you could put your money. So I'm curious how you define effective digital marketing.
Yeah, well, like I mentioned earlier, I think one of the best ways is tracking, and that has to be done, on the client side, but also with the help of the digital marketing team. There's so much like different kind of efforts out there, and marketing is kind of like almost like a lot of A/B testing. You have to kind of try, experiment with one area, try another. But usually when you have like an expertise in the one area, you kind of know what works better than others. And depending on what the client's goals are, you can then decide like what area to go, at least a good starting point. And that's why we kind of review at least every quarter with our clients, kind of see what's working, what's not. And I usually recommend at least about 3 months of data before really making any kind of big changes to any kind of marketing plan that you may be going forth.
Yeah, and like part of almost all of your career has been sort of implementing strategies to help business grow. So tell me how digital marketing can act as a tool to help businesses grow.
Well, it can help as a tool to help business grow by really just attracting new leads in and getting your name out there. With it, that's one reason why we offer the search engine optimization along with digital marketing, or along with paid advertising, there's so many businesses out there, it's hard for them all to be ranking on the first page of Google. And unfortunately, Google has like a dominant presence when you're trying to search for something online. So that's where kind of search engine optimization comes in, is just trying to help you get onto that first page. Because after you end up losing, I think it's almost, I'm not completely 100% accurate on this, but I think it's almost 70% viewability if you're not on the first page. So you only have like if you're on the second page of Google in a search query, you maybe only have like a 30% chance of someone actually going to the second page to kind of find you. And then after that, it drops drastically. I think it's like 20% is dropped after that. So you'd only have like a 10% chance if you're like on the third page. And if you're past like pretty much like the third page in the search results, there's very little that someone's ever going to find you. So because of that, that's kind of where paid advertising comes in, is to kind of help your business be found a little bit better if you are not already ranking well on search engine on the search engines. But obviously, even your big companies, even after they're ranking well, they still continue with paid advertising too, because SEO and paid advertising kind of complement each other.
Yeah, so that's my next question, Blake. What's the key to sort of optimizing your search engine optimization?
One is really just, the biggest one is content on your website. Just trying to provide user-friendly content that Google is, or I don't want to keep on saying Google, but any kind of search engine is looking for, and I know that's one of the things Google is always striving for in their algorithm, and they're always trying to improve more of what the user is searching for. And whenever they actually search for it, they want to make sure your website actually answers or pertains to what people are searching. And they'll use, obviously what they call keywords and key phrases to kind of be in the content. That's still important, but it's not as important as it used to be. A lot of, back in the day, people used to do what they call keyword stuffing. Now Google's become smart enough to kind of realize the companies that are doing that, and they penalize them for doing it. So really, it's just creating effective content to kind of engage the user to be on your site longer. And in regards to content, I'm talking about, mostly text. You got your imagery, and also video content is becoming a more important aspect. And besides that, though, the next area I would definitely say would be like your Google business profile. I want to keep saying Google My Business, because that's what it used to be called, but, they just switched it to Google Business Profile. And just keeping that up to date, optimizing it, make sure everything's accurate on there. So, because eventually I think, and this is just my opinion, Google kind of wants people to be able to kind of make like a transaction just by searching your name or searching searching whatever phrase, and then your business showing up on their search engine without going to your website. Your website would be more used for if people need additional information that's not already provided in that Google business profile. So I think those are really your two biggest areas at this point.
Yeah, and I'm curious to also ask you about any sort of tried and true principles of digital marketing that you have seen provide, I guess, consistent success over the years. So tell me, are there any? What are your top 3 digital marketing principles you sort of live by?
I would. What was it? I would probably turn around and say, for me, No, this is just for our clients. I know things may work differently, but we've had some great, return on investment just through the paid advertising. I'll use one of our, we have a client they're an oral surgeon, and for instance, they had just was it quarter two, because I haven't finished quarter three yet to put in all the results, but quarter two they had like $120,000 return with us, but they only spent about $5,000. So it ended up being almost like a 945% return on investment with us. So a lot of our clients who do Google paid advertising with us usually see at least 100% return on investment or more. And then like I said, I do search engine optimization. With that, the return on investment is not usually as high, and it's also harder to kind of track what you consider the return on investment. But I'd say most of those clients usually receive like almost like a 50% return on investment with search engine optimization, and then the rest of that I would kind of just couple that with brand marketing, which kind of is obviously kind of take has both of those other two aspects in it, but then now you're incorporating maybe like social media presence and just kind of like your online presence. And it doesn't even have to be even online. It could be just your brand experience, all together. For instance, just kind of even being involved in the community and getting your name out there. That, would be, like a brand experience, and just people getting to know what your brand name is.
Yeah, absolutely. And Blake, I don't have to tell you that people's attention spans are shorter these days. So tell me, what do you think is the key to creating an authentic sort of marketing experience that will bring people back to your business?
Yeah. I think an authentic market experience would truly show who the company is and what they are about. Being honest in your brand messaging goes a long way. Humanizing the company and relating to your customer base is more important these days. People are starting to really care about specific ethical issues out there. That especially that goes even to the way of like big corporations, and especially if you have like stock investors, just like that. The younger crowd, I feel, really cares more about, like for instance, like the environment or what your company is actually doing for like the local community.
Yeah, absolutely. And Blake, I'm curious to ask you, how do you define sort of business diversification, and how do you know that a business is successfully growing, in your opinion?
I think the definition of effective growth would be up to the goals the business owner sets. For me, my goal was to pay myself what I was making at my previous employer, work less and spend more time with my family. I've already been able to pay myself more, work less than in my previous job, and I've spent more time with my family. But I'm a small agency, and like becoming like a multi-million-dollar company has never been really a goal of mine. If it ever happens, that's awesome, but it's just not a goal I plan to ever set. In regard to diversification, are we? I don't know. Do you feel like, are we talking about like diversification in hiring, or?
We can do that. Diversification and hiring, and sort of also expanding your audience as a business as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good. I mean, I always like to compare certain things just to the stock market. Diversifying your portfolio, is always important, because if you kind of put everything on one basket, if something goes wrong, then your business is going to collapse. That's kind of why, we do have like the DentaMarketing, but we still also have, our other company, I have a nice passion to working with dentists, and I enjoy working with them. But at the same time, it's always great to not put, everything in one basket. In regards to hiring, I think, it's always a great goal to kind of diversify, just because I think diversity just brings a larger presence of education to each individual. So, every person has a different background and a different story. And I think the more different backgrounds you have, I see those backgrounds as building blocks, and it becomes more of a stronger structure the more diverse amount of blocks you have.
Yeah, absolutely. And leading into my next question, Blake, we're having this conversation at the end of October, which happens to be National Disability Employment Awareness Month. So tell me, how do you think we can use digital marketing to get more folks with disabilities employed as well?
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities for marketing to help individuals with disabilities get employed. I did find, like during some research, I did find some really interesting numbers, which are kind of shocking. Roughly there's 90% of larger companies have hiring of people with disabilities on their agenda, but only 4% actually do it. So I think one of the biggest ways to kind of attract and bring awareness to this would actually incorporate, maybe some different marketing towards that, maybe including some imagery, commercials, anything that embraces like the inclusion of people with disabilities in the workplace. For instance, there's tons of people with, with disability that they can easily handle many jobs. I think one of the biggest things that the companies need to do is not think about what a person can't do, but more of what they can do and how they can use that and utilize it. And one of the things, I wanted to kind of, like I said, there's tons of companies out there that kind of focus on this. One of the ones I wanted to talk about was there's a local one here, and you may have heard of it because it's kind of blown up in the national one. It's called Biddy and Bose. They kind of started here in our town of Wilmington, North Carolina, and their main core focus was actually hiring people with disabilities. And like I said, now they're a national chain. I think they have about 23 locations. So just that whole brand messaging itself has been a huge effort. And I think that was just those 23 locations. I want to say, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be accurate on this, but I think it's maybe been only like maybe about 6 years, and they blew up maybe that quickly into 23 locations. Might have been about 6 to 8 years, but they've grown tremendously, and I think that's awesome. And they've kind of brought that to the forefront of their branding, was the inclusion of people, and people enjoy it. And if you actually ever get the chance to go to one, I think it's one of the best experiences you have by going into like a coffee shop, because that's what they are. You feel so welcome as soon as you enter in.
Yeah, I think they were featured on Shark Tank too, weren't they?
I believe they were, and I know they've been featured on tons of different like news stations, and I think it was like, I don't know, maybe like Good Morning America, or things like or one of those kind of bigger newscasts. They've been on there a couple times.
There's nothing like organic marketing, right?
Right. Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly right. And Blake, tell me, my final question for you this morning has to do with your own personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's a great question. For my professional legacy, I hope my clients, they actually look back and find value in what we've been doing for them, or what we've done for them. That is really our biggest goal, and we hope we hope to have continued success with them, but we also hope that they have continued success with us. And, for me, personal legacy, I'd say just continue spending time with my family. And I hope my kids grow up and kind of achieve their own type of success in whatever they kind of define that as themselves.
I always say that everyone's portrait of success is different, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. Blake, finally tell me, if people want to get connected with you, buddy, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, they can reach out to us at info@wahhadesign.com. That's INFO and then at WAHHA design.com. And feel free, or you can reach us at our phone number, which is 910-623-0319. And both our websites is wahhadesign.com. And if you're in the dental industry, go ahead and check out DentaMarketing.
Fantastic, buddy. Well, I want to thank you for all the good work that you do to elevate businesses, and your passion for digital marketing and work in the space is most appreciated, my friend. And I want to thank you for being here this morning.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. And please stay in touch, Kevin. Enjoyed the conversation.